Hi, this is Dr. Stephen with Outclick Magazine. Today we are bringing to you singer-songwriter and husband to Latrice Royale, Christopher Hamblin. Chris, welcome to the program.
Oh, well, hi. It's nice to join you guys again. I haven't really gotten to do anything since my poolside Namaste Home show last year that I had so much fun with. So, hey, I miss you.
Hey, it was great. That's right. We watched you do some really awesome piano solos out back by the pool that you did some Sandy Patty tributes. You and I have that in common.
We do. Once you meet a Sandy Patty fan that is most likely another homosexual, there's a bond that lasts for life, I think.
Yes. Yes. You did an amazing job with some tributes and playing her music. That was amazing and a real blessing too during a tough time last year.
Yeah. And she was currently recovering from her own bout with COVID at the time. So I heard through some other gays that it got back to her and that she kind of chuckled and enjoyed it, but she never, of course, acknowledged it publicly.
It was good to hear that. I have another good memory. Poolside back behind your house. How many people get to brag that they had chicken wings with Christopher Hamblin and Latrice Royale poolside behind their house? How many people get to brag and say that?
Well, very few these days, because I'll tell you, living in Florida with these numbers raising the way that they are, very few people are invited over to the house these days. We miss everybody, but we ain't cooking many people chicken these days.
No, that was back before COVID.
It was.
That was right after Miss Latrice was on our cover. Arthur's going to pull that up. You all did an amazing show down at the Aventura Center. So Arthur's going to pull that up. Tell us just a little bit about that. We're going to reminisce for a second, Chris.
Okay, great. Yeah. Last year we were finally able to really bring the full version of Latrice's one-woman show Here's to Life to home. We workshopped it originally at what was then Boom and now is Hunters, I think. And then we ended up taking it on cruise ships and have literally toured it all over the world in Australia, UK, Europe, Norway. We took the show a lot of places, and so to finally be able to bring it home and have our sister Tiana Love with us, as well as Raul Vegas. It was a really, really special night. And the cover that Erica Wagner shot of Tom Ogden's look that he made for Latrice, I felt like we just really knocked it out of the park. You guys really featured her so prominently and beautifully, and it's one of our favorite photo shoots to date. And we now sell it on her website as like a trifold with 3 different angles of it. And I've got a whole box of the magazine that you gave me that we keep that I think we're going to create an art project out of and make a new Latrice out of all of the little Latrices.
That was a famous cover. We were so excited to bring in last year. Arthur's going to pull up the article too there. There it is. We were so excited to bring in the new year last year with the show. We went down to Aventura and saw the show, and the pictures. We had to fight over which picture was going to be on the cover because they were all so fabulous. The pictures just brought her personality to life in the photos, Chris. They were amazing.
Well, there's a lot of personality there, and I love getting to help bring it to life. I think that especially in a year like 2020, a voice like Latrice Royale's, not that there are many voices like Latrice's, but her voice really mattered last year, and it was a good year to be with my husband and to really help make his art happen out in the world and let it be known who he is and what we stand for over here.
Yeah, it was a great way. It was one of the last things we got to do before the COVID hit.
I look back and I'm so grateful I got to hug you all that night because we haven't since.
Yeah, we ate out the back of chicken wings. Now, you had another fun project as a result of COVID, some other things that have happened. You've had a fabulous TV show, and that's the word I'm going to use, fabulous, TV show called All the Queen's Men on. Tell us about the show and tell us about the network that you've now been able to do this year, Chris.
Well, I will accept fabulous. TV show is a little bit of an exaggeration, but I'll still let you say it.
Okay.
I'll let you spread the word that it's a TV show. That's fine with me. It's probably more of an online series that started on my social media, actually. Last year, just during out of quarantine boredom, I started talking to other Drag Race husbands on my Instagram account. And it went pretty well. Some people tuned in and we had a little kiki. And my loving husband made a phone call to World of Wonder, who are the producers of RuPaul's Drag Race and $1 Million Listing and a bunch of other shows that we all tune into. And they agreed to produce 4 episodes of what is now known as All the Queen's Men. And that was originally released on Wow Presents Plus, their online platform where you can see other shows like Drag Race Canada and UK. They have a lot of content. Trixie and Katya's show happens on there. And so I am very, very honored to get to join the World of Wonder talent pool. I have looked up to their company for about 20 years. May he rest in peace, I guess, Michael Alec, who just passed away. They made documentaries about him and made a movie about him. And they made a documentary about Tammy Faye Baker called The Eyes of Tammy Faye. And I feel like they've been telling me about my culture and my life and my story, my ancestors in a way. And to now get to sort of share my perspective on the career that I've been able to share with my husband is really a unique experience. And it's been a lot of fun to get to tell my side of things and let people know that it's not all what they think it is.
Mm-hmm. So one of the things I think it's been one of the silver linings of COVID is getting to see inside people's homes. So we've got to see Sean Hayes' living room and Jane Lynch's foyer on their TV shows. So we get to see Latrice Royale's and Chris Hamblin's foyer. I think if we look closely in the background, there's your wedding picture in the background.
It's true, with our good Judy's Tim Lee and Aisha standing guard, making sure nobody's messing with us.
I think it's fascinating to get to see the homes of people, that they are real people. There's a scepter in the background. There's, the personal touches of people. It makes the people more real, their stories more real. And it's personalized a lot of the journeys, I think, of a lot of the actors that we've only seen on stage. And we get to see people in their real homes.
Well, last year we just bought this house in December of 2019, thankfully, and then immediately lost all of our work. So in the middle of trying to furnish the house and get everything together, instead of buying new furniture, we ended up buying ring lights and microphones and green screens and backdrops. And so our living room, which is where I am now, I've called it Mr. Rogers' neighborhood all year, because sometimes you're in the fairy castle. Sometimes you've got to take your sweater out of the closet off the hanger. Sometimes you got to change your shoes. Sometimes you got to dip your feet in a swimming pool with a black guy. It just depends on what you're doing that day as to what our living room looks like.
And I hope it's okay to tell, I've been in Latrice's Royale closet. And by closet, I mean extra bedroom double to turn into a closet. I hope it's okay to tell that story.
It is okay.
It is not a small closet as most would think. And we probably should come over and do a tour one day of the closet.
That would be a lot of fun. Let's do an Outclick Cribs. Yeah, it's true. We have our bedroom that we sleep in, and we have a guest room. But then the other 2 rooms, one of them is our office and merchandise area where we run all of Latrice's online store, and then the upstairs is the entire bedroom became Latrice's wardrobe, and now it's actually where she films and records her podcast with Manila Luzon called The Chop. So it is also double functioning as a studio as well, because it's all of the clothes kind of keep it an acoustically friendly environment.
Regular boy clothes like tank tops don't take up a lot of space, but drag clothes take up a lot of space.
Yeah, when people come over, when people do see our house and they're kind of taking the tour, they see our closet together and they're like, where's all Latrice's clothes? Like, what, they think it's all mine, and they don't really even like think about that Tim has to have boy clothes too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he doesn't walk around like Latrice all day.
Mm-hmm. Your show is so much fun. I've watched the videos. I'm going to have Arthur put it up again. I encourage people to get on. It's wowpresentsplus.com.
And they're all also, not to interrupt you, but they're also now available on YouTube as well. So if you are not a Wow Presents subscriber, like a lot of people are not, you can now go get the free version. But please do make sure to like, comment, and tell them you like it and stuff, because I hope we get to do more.
All right. So you've asked everybody all the fun stories. I'm going to get to ask you. Tell us a fun travel, drag story, whatever comes to mind. Story of being on the road or doing some of the shows. Chris, you got to ask her right now. It's my turn to quiz you on this.
Well, one of the most legendary stories of my experience, we talk about this on the first episode of All the Queen's Men as well, was in Brazil with Manila Luzon and her husband, Michael. And Latrice and Manila went to sound check in one car, and Mike and I were in another car, and we went the most horrible way possible. It was all of these brick roads, and we were riding like this. It was like, we really got to the point where we thought we might not make it to the club, and we might get killed before we got there. So that was definitely one of the most terrifying experiences. And it's one of those moments that just bonds you forever, though, because when you really think, oh my God, you might be the last bitch I say anything to, like, we might get like, oh my God. So Mike and I have become really close. And obviously Manila and Latrice are linked because of their All-Stars connection on RuPaul's Drag Race. But the craziest stories really are like being on a tour bus with a trailer that jackknifes into a bridge and damages the trailer and the bridge. So you're in a 2-hour delay. So you don't get to the next city until an hour and a half before the meet and greet's supposed to start. And nobody's had a shit shower or shave, and you got to be in full face. It's stories like that that when you get through those things with people, you really get to know how people are and why they are the way they are, how they tick, and what they need. So we've definitely had a few adventures along the way.
One of the things that I appreciate about hanging out with you and Latrice is that y'all, I'll say it, y'all are real people and hardworking people. And sitting out there cooking the chicken wings. And as a result, you have written a really awesome song called Give Me a Holler. Now, I'm from Kentucky. I'll forgive you. You're from Tennessee. But
I know orange and blue are not supposed to get along.
I know. The cats will. I know that.
But the thing we share, we're both supposed to hate Florida, though. But here we are.
Here we are. The Gators, when the Gators play them. But you've written, and when you called me, you said you like this kind of music. I said, let me pull out the CDs of the similar type of music. So tell us about Give Me a Holler. It uses dulcimers and the Kentucky, Southern Tennessee kind of sounds, Chris. It's a beautiful song. Tell us about Give Me a Holler.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate that compliment. I wrote Give Me a Holler almost like 15 years ago now. I created an event called the Night of 1,000 Dollies that is a Dolly Parton tribute night. And so I challenged myself one day to write a song that I thought would be a cute Dolly Parton song. And the result was Give Me a Holler. I'm from, like you said, the really rural parts of Tennessee. A holler is somewhere back in the country where it's going to take you a minute to get there, and you might not see a gas station or a grocery store or a neighbor for a minute. When I moved to New York City and started expanding my horizons and going on the adventures that we go on as queer folks trying to find ourselves and whatever, I sort of felt like I left my country roots behind a little bit. And now in this day and age, I really do miss those simpler times of when I thought grandma was right about everything, and that I could just be playing out in the grass and chasing butterflies, and that was all we had to worry about. And that's not how life is for me anymore, for any of us. But I think, the song is a little catchy. I got the good fortune of being the opening act for Latrice last year on a Canadian tour we did 13 cities, and I played the song in that show, and it kept getting stuck in people's heads. And I thought, well, that's a good sign if people remember it. So Tim really encouraged me to produce the song and to make, then it became a little quarantine baby of a music video. I thought everybody else is making music videos with their iPhones, so let me just go do this. And I snuck up to Tennessee to check on my family and ran around in the woods and made a little music video with my buddies Jada and Barry J. Jada Starr is actually the niece of Dolly Parton. And they, Jada and Barry, worked together as performers at Dollywood each season. And so to get some of Dolly's literal blood kinfolk into this track, I felt like we really had a good harmony, vocal balance, and they liked the song and were into it too. And we had a great time. And now I have a little single out.
It's very good. It uses dulcimer and guitars. What instrumentation does it use?
Well, I play the auto harp.
The auto harp. Okay.
There is a little bit of dulcimer in there as well. There's some guitar. There's some mandolin. I thought about adding a fiddle, but we never got around to that. But it is definitely in the Alison Krauss, Emmylou Harris, Mark O'Connor vein of bluegrass music. I really wanted to speak my heart about being a country boy. You know, a lot of times we grow up, we kind of make fun of how we grew up. But there were a lot of great lessons that I learned in them hollers, and that music and that sound is in my blood, and I hope that I got it right and that people enjoy it.
This is it on Amazon. You made it on Amazon. How cool. I told you before, this is a really sexy picture, Chris.
Oh, well, thanks.
Yeah, very sexy, very sexy. And the double entendre of holler of, you know, give me a shout and the holler where you grew up. I tell everyone I'll always be a Kentucky boy. I remember when I graduated from Asbury College, now Asbury University, as we walked across the grounds for graduation on the Carillon, they were playing My Old Kentucky Home. And those words still, you know, ring in my ears. The sun shines bright on my old Kentucky home. I don't know the state song for Tennessee.
I believe it's the Tennessee Waltz, which is a complicated song to me because in the song they say they're dancing to the Tennessee Waltz, but the name of that song is the Tennessee Waltz. So what is the song they were dancing to?
Oh,
I never understood this. I never understood, but I think it's the Tennessee Waltz. But I think it should be "I Will Always Love You" or "Coat of Many Colors" or something.
Yeah.
Dolly should absolutely be the patron saint of Tennessee, and I think she is.
It should be. It should be. I have a love for Dolly Parton as well. What was the Backwoods Barbie that she did?
That was a great album. She has a track on there called "Jesus and Gravity" that I often go back to. Something to lift me up and something to keep me grounded. We need that balance in our lives.
She's always done that. She's always stayed grounded, no matter how much money she has or fame. She's always had that same message, and she's always kept that coat of many colors theory and paradigm in her mind.
I have never gotten the pleasure to meet the lady. I know that she's aware of my love for her and my talking about her a lot, and I can only hope that she feels like I do her proud, even in my little way.
I'm sure you do. I'm sure you do. Well, Chris, the show is All the Queen's Men. Your song is Give Me a Holler. Are there any other projects you're working on that we should know about?
Well, I'm continuing to make new music and do new things all of the time. Hopefully, All the Queen's Men will get extended. We're in talks now about figuring out how we're going to move forward with the show. I can also continue my Namaste Home series whenever I'm at home and bored and feel like I have some music on my mind I want to play. I kind of put that together and go live on my social media. And I'm also planning on finally recording my second single, a song that I wrote a long time ago called Invisible. That's a piano ballad kind of thing. But I have so I've got a few things up my sleeve that I'm not fully ready to talk about yet, but hopefully people will be interested and continue to go on this wild ride with me.
All right. In this case, it would be your proverbial sleeve.
Yes, I am not. I'm sporting my vintage, absolutely Gia Gunn tank top today. I don't think she makes this anymore, but I miss her.
She was the guest speaker at the trans conference a couple years ago here in Fort Lauderdale, and I got to meet her, and she was the guest speaker.
She has
for
come
Southern
such
Conference.
a long way. Like I
Mhm.
love Gia. Like obviously we knew her before she was trans, and she has evolved into such an amazing advocate for herself and for her community now. And even though she and my husband had a little like moment on All Stars or whatever, that ain't got nothing to do with our love for her.
That's great. Well, Chris, we've got your piano, your Namaste, and all of these great projects. But like I said, Chris, you guys are such nice people. You're so much fun to work with, the projects and everything. And you're just real people. So we are glad you're part of the Outclick family.
Well, I'm glad to be part of that. Thank you so much for being interested in what we're doing and helping us tell people about it. We're always glad to get to be a part of the community. For so long, we were traveling so much that we really didn't get to participate much locally. So it has been nice to be home and feel like we're going through this with you guys, even if we don't see you.
Well, the give back is I expect some more chicken wings back by the pool when things get leveled out and things get some normalcy.
I guarantee it. I guarantee it.
I love it. I love it. Arthur's going to put up your Facebook and some of your other social media so they can find you on your Facebook and your Instagram accounts.
Oh, look at me. That's me. That's where you can find me and stuff.
Look there. That's where you can find you. Of course, Latrice Royale. They can Google and find Latrice's information.
Yes, and she's selling these Ruby Royale nuts now. That's the thing. We've got this Valentine's Day thing going. So it's fun watching her crunching these. Yeah, it's fun.
All right. We'll have to do a follow-up sometime when she's ready to interview anytime you want with Miss Latrice.
That'd be great. She'd be glad to.
That would be awesome. Awesome. Well, Arthur's going to put up our social media as well for our Outclick, if you can put that up. And if you want to stay updated on us, you can text OCQ to 22828. Thank you so much, Chris, for joining us. You're always so much fun, and we look forward to new projects to come. And when things are back to normal, we expect you to give us a holler.
And I will give you a holler, and you can come over and have some wings.
I love it. I love it. Thanks, everyone. Stay safe, and have a great evening.